something special because it's the holidays and we are in the giving mood. So we wanted to just give a kit to every single one of our Patreon subscribers, whether or not you're in the upper tiers where we normally do this, or doesn't matter. We wanted to just do something fun, invite every single person here that we could. So a lot of new faces. For those who this is your first time here, the tiers that are $20 and above, we do this every single month. So kudos to those people who are already doing that all the time. So every single month, we, as part of our Patreon, we have a class just like this where we put a cocktail together using one of our whiskey products. And we have a wonderful time making drinks, screwing them up, and then drinking and just, talking about it, talking about whiskey, talking about the business, all the fun stuff that goes into it. So, if you're a regular subscriber and you might want to do this more than once, let us know. Obviously, some people, it might be a little bit more difficult because most of us are in New York and some of us are, on other ends of the country, which also makes this the very first nationwide cocktail class, which is pretty awesome.
Or moving to another country like a jerk.
You could, yeah. If you want to go to another country, maybe, North Korea, Nigeria, or whatever, we'll send it there, and then we can participate and get everywhere.
Move to London.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's just kind of the quick spiel as far as the intro goes, and we have a handful of shout outs for people that we want to shout out. Nick, Nick, if you want to yell at people.
Yeah, I'm going to yell at every single one of you right now. No, so I just want to give a quick shout out to the new people that have been a part of our Patreon for a while now, but we get to see your beautiful faces this month. And I want to shout out Drew over here. He's the host of the Whiskey Lore podcast, and we happened to interview him for one of our interviews that are part of our podcast that we do that comes with it. And it was an amazing talk. And after that, we both signed up for each other's Patreons, and it was really, really nice. And he comes from South Carolina, and he's also a best-selling author too, writing books about the Bourbon Trail and Kentucky and stuff. And so it's awesome that you're joining us today. Kaylee Goldsworthy's with us. Hi, Kaylee. Friends for a very, very long time. You've been part of our Patreon too for a while now. And also another thing, we follow you on your Patreon and you follow us on ours. So check out Drew and Kaylee's Patreon. Kaylee is a musician. She just released a couple songs on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. Her and I used to play in a band together years ago, and I'm so happy to see you. It's been a while. And we got Josh Haverlock in the house, one of our newest Patreon members. And I'm so happy to see you. Josh and Colin and I went to middle school together. So just so
we did.
Background on that one. Also, one of our newest Patreon subscriber is Julie, and she comes from Arizona. She is now in the upper tier, so you'll be seeing her. If you're in the regular class, you'll be seeing her every month now. We did a kind of like a second. There's a lot of people who missed last month, so we did a second cocktail class, and you joined this one, but this is your first official one. So thanks for joining.
Yeah, with the whole gang.
Yes, and we have Corey is off camera right now, but she is in I believe the $10 tier. So thank you guys for joining there. We also have Terry, Colin's dad, joining us today.
Hi, Dad.
He's also a Patreon. Oh, and the mom's here too.
And mom.
Hello, Mother.
Yeah, nice. So thank you guys so much for being a part of our tier. Everyone else has been a part. Everyone knows each other except for you guys here too. So Corey, I said she's off camera, but thanks for joining as well on that one. And a couple other shout outs too. There's a few people that have been with us since the very, very beginning. This actually is the 1-year anniversary of these cocktail classes. And like to the day, like December 20th, 2020 is when we did the very first one. And my parents, who they're not here right now, they were on the very first one. Molly, my beautiful girlfriend, was on the first one, and Jake, Blake, you were on the first one as well. And thank you guys so much for being with us since the very beginning, and thank everyone else as well for just continuing to do this. And knock on wood, this is the I have to say, we've never ever lost a Patreon member. So thank you guys for sticking with us. So thank you. And my mom's joining now. So I'll shout her out in a minute. But thank you guys so much for doing this. Another cool thing is that this cocktail was brought to our attention by Jake. He was shopping around, and I think you said you were not a big fan of eggnog, but you found an almond-based eggnog that you like. Is that true?
Yeah. The almond eggnog was a lot thinner. The thing I don't like with eggnog is it's just super thick.
Yeah.
So the almond eggnog tasted exactly the same, and it was just a lot thinner.
Yeah. And so he was like, we try to do everything vegan, Caleb, our one of our owners is vegan. Hi, Caleb. We'll let you talk in just a minute. Okay. And so when we found out there was a eggnog that was vegan based, we checked it out. We tried it out. We tried some cocktail recipes out, and yeah, that was awesome. Also in the bags, you got these little candy bars that Becky made. And thank you so much. There was one extra and I got to try it. It was awesome. So I'm excited to try another one.
What's so special about those candy bars, Nick?
I think they use our whiskey in the candy bar. So yeah, that's pretty good. Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. Sorry for being late.
Oh, no, you're fine. We're just getting started here. So also, we want to update you guys on just quick before we go. If you're in the upper tiers, you get to vote on new flavors and products for us to test out at our shop. And Caleb, you want to take over real quick what we were just doing in the shop the other day and what we've been working on?
Sure. So yeah, Colin and Nick and I went to the shop the other day in Auburn, and it's just cool. Like Nick goes there a ton, but Colin and I don't get out there quite as much. So it was really cool to just all three of us to be there together at the same time. And Colin took a bunch of peppers. Okay, so the people in the upper tier for the Patreon, they vote to see what kind of crazy concoctions we can come up with involving whiskey. And so we've done lemon ginger, maple was the last one, and it was almost a pepper whiskey, and now it's pepper. So Colin took a bunch of peppers. I don't know what kind of, I don't even know. He just took a bunch of different peppers. So it's not just like all jalapeno or all habanero or anything. It's just a plethora of peppers. And he made a pepper dust out of it, basically, dehydrated them. And man, they're potent and they smell delicious. So there's going to be actually two different beverages that we'll be making out of these peppers. And I'm not going to tell you what they are. It's going to be a surprise. But when we were making them, so we're curing the barrels with them right now. We did a little bit of algebra at the shop and figured out some crazy mathematical equations involving how much to use. And we put it on the hot plate, stirred it up a little bit, and man, it smelled so good. So we got it cured in the barrels right now. And a few months later, we'll have something fun for y'all to try. And we played a lot of ring toss there too while we were at it. So that was a fun time. That's what I got for you.
That's true. Yeah, we have the ring game where you have to on the string and you have to try to get it on the hook. Anyways, it's a whole thing. It's a competition.
It's how we pass time while we're waiting for whiskey to age.
Yes, of course. All right. So do you guys want to have a drink? Let's have a drink, shall we? Let's do it. Should we get into it? Let's do it. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Anyone else want to say anything? Got anything to say?
Thanks for including me and shipping this all the way down to South Carolina for me.
Oh yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Okay, so
I want to say I felt like this one for some reason I was like I'm I'm unwrapping a witch's spell that I'm about to cast from these little vials, and this is like a severed child's toe that we need to dip in.
Yours may or may not have been cursed, so we'll deal
Please,
with that. We'll deal with
please,
that
it
as you
can't-
drink it.
It
Yeah.
can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Before we do this real quick, Drew, I was wondering, where in South Carolina are you from?
Greenville.
Oh, okay. I've been there. My parents live down in south of Charleston, Edisto Island, and so
Okay.
I
Yeah,
go
yeah.
down a bit. So
Lots,
very
lots of vacation time down there, and just recently visited distilleries there. I've been to distilleries all over the world. I haven't been to any in South Carolina, so I finally
very cool.
drove that way. So yeah,
Nice.
nice.
All right,
Okay.
let's do this. Yeah.
All right, so let's just go through what everyone has. There is one other lucky person that accidentally got another eggnog. So I was somehow missed 2 eggnogs, and I know Caleb got one, and someone else got an extra eggnog. It was a rough time. All right, so what you should have this little tincture here. This is our chai whiskey. We're going to be using chai flavored chai spice whiskey today. It's our chai fusion. It is 100% corn whiskey mixed with cardamom, ginger, clove, allspice, cinnamon. If you want to open it up, take a little whiff, you can kind of smell what we're dealing with on that one. It's going to taste amazing in the eggnog as well. You also should have this little bottle, and this is Kahlua. And we're going to be using this a couple of different times tonight while making this. You should also obviously have your little mason jar of eggnog. It is an almond-based eggnog that just seemed to go a little bit better with what we're working with today. And it's dairy-free. I know there's some people here that prefer not to have dairy. Also in this little guy, we have a little bit of nutmeg that we'll sprinkle on top. There's not much in there. You just need a little bit to kind of drizzle on top. In this guy, we have cinnamon sugar that we're going to be using to rim the glasses with. And you have a cinnamon stick as well. And then the other thing, the candy bars that Becky made, which we will be munching on after we start drinking. And we'll let Becky take the floor on that one. She can kind of describe how she made it and stuff. And very excited for it. So first things first. It's easier. I know I told this to some people, but for the people that were just a couple minutes late, an extra glass would be perfect. I have this little mixing one as well. You can do it, but it's just going to be better to kind of mix everything together. So if you have an extra glass, it's just going to make everything easier. It also says you need a small plate. That's great. I would use a second one if you have it, or at least another clean service. As I was going through I was just trying to redo the cocktail. I was realizing it's a little easier to have a second surface for rimming the glass. And of course you need some ice. We're going to have some ice for this too. So first things first, you're going to take your whiskey glass, the glass that you're going to be drinking out of. All right. We're going to be rimming that glass. So you just kind of put that aside for now. And then you're going to take one of your plates and your Kahlua. Okay. And you are going to just squirt a little. You're not going to want all of it because we're going to use this also in the drink on one of your plates.
That's the Kahlua. And
kind of make it like take your glass and kind of make it like the same size as your glass, like a little puddle, if you will, on your plate.
Oh, I will.
And then on your other plate or your other surface, you're going to take your cinnamon sugar and just pour the same kind of circumference as that. So you're going to have 2 sections. I mean, you could use the same plate if you really want to, just kind of keep them separate. Got to keep them separate right here. And just have one cinnamon sugar, one Kahlua. It's okay if it gets a little messy. We just kind of need it to wet the glass, if you will. So what I do is I know people like to rim their glasses in very specific ways. My way involves a little bit more alcohol. So if you're interested in that, that's great. If you are one of the people that just likes to use like maple syrup, or some people just use water. It's cinnamon sugar. It's going to stick to the glass no matter what you use. But we're going to use Kahlua for this. So just kind of dip upside down like this on your glass. Get it pretty wet, if you will. Keep the glass upside down, because if you flip it upright, it's going to leak off the side. You don't want that. And then bring it to your other glass and kind of really get the cinnamon sugar in there. And one thing that actually Molly taught me one of the times we were doing this class, to get a little extra, I like to go back in the Kahlua and then go back again, do the double dip.
Oh, you animal.
I like to do the double
Yeah, he
dip.
went there.
Yeah. Then you should have
Oh, yeah.
a great rim around with Kahlua and cinnamon sugar. And if it leaks a little bit, that's not a big deal. We're gonna eat it up anyway. And then you just kind of put the glass aside. You're gonna kind of let it dry just a little bit. It's gonna be nice and kind of crunchy when we sip into it later. Next, you're gonna take your other glass that you have. I have a little mixing glass. It seems to work pretty good with that. You're going to keep your ice separate as of right now. We'll be adding that in a little bit. This will be without ice for right now. So just take your other glass, and this is where you kind of have a little leeway of what you like. If you like a boozy drink, you can add more whiskey in it. You know, if we give you 2 ounces of our chai fusion whiskey, you don't have to use all 2 ounces if you don't want to. That's a heavy cocktail if you want it. So those of you that are new, some of you have a shot glass. I know some of our cocktail class members already have them. Take your shot glass. Our shot glasses, the Cellarman's Folly ones, are 1.5 ounces, and then we give you 2. We do that for a couple of reasons. That is my recommendation for this cocktail, is 1.5 ounces. And it kind of gives you a little whiskey extra if you want to sip on it and see what our whiskey tastes like outside of a cocktail. You can do that as well. Or you can throw all 2 ounces into your cocktail if you want. No issue. You could do it however you like it. I know there's definitely some people that love all of the whiskey in their cocktails. I'm going to do 1.5 ounces. So I just fill it up and then throw it in your second glass. That way you have a little bit left over, and you can do it however you like with it. Use it for another cocktail. Sip it on ice. You know, do it. You do you. And then I take the same shot glass. I open my Kahlua up, whatever you have left. And this is a coffee liqueur. So if you like a sugary coffee taste to your, I mean, this is kind of like a eggnog versus a White Russian versus a whiskey drink. So we're kind of mixing different kind of cocktails together. My recommendation is like half of the shot glass. That's my recommendation. If you don't like the coffee flavor, put a little less in. Don't put any at all if you don't like it. If you like it, add some more. It's going to add a little bit more sweetness to it as well. And then you just put that into the same drink you put your whiskey. Then comes the eggnog. So I like to give this just a little shake. You don't want to shake it too much, but before you take the top off, just give it a little shake. Almond, you know, it kind of separates, almond nog separates a little bit. So you want to give it a little shake. And this is also, we gave you 3 to 4 ounces. You're not going to need all of it. So also kind of put as much or as little as you want. Eggnog, I realize, is like a 50-50 thing. There's people who love it, people who hate it. I don't know any in between. So If you like it, put more in. If you want to hide the coffee, if you're not a huge whiskey drinker and kind of want to hide the taste of the alcohol, put a little bit more in. I'm gonna just.
So if you have your own eggnog, and you want to use that instead, you could do
That's
so
true.
as well.
That's true. If you have an oat nog or if you have a normal eggnog, feel free to use whatever you like. My recommendation, this is what I'm doing. I'm leaving this much left into my mason jar.
I put it all in.
Yeah, there you go.
I did the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Now take your glass that you have it. I would give it a little swirl like this, just to kind of mix everything up just a little bit. And it'll definitely mix up once we pour it over the ice, which brings me to my next step. Take your glass that you rimmed everything with and carefully put your ice in. You don't want to just slam it in because it'll hit the cinnamon sugar rim and kind of get all over the place. So just kind of carefully put it in. Make sure you're not hitting the rim. Then you take your second glass that you made the drink with and you pour it over ice. And just be careful. Get a little messy.
Shit. Hold on.
So be careful and then someone goes, ah, shit. And that's pretty much the drink. Now we're going to garnish. And the garnish is easy. So you take your nutmeg. And also, if you like it, I realized this today when I was making a practice cocktail.
So wait, what'd you do with the ice real quick? I did have to go get ice. I forgot.
Okay, so you just carefully put it in the glass that we rimmed it with. Just because if you knock over the sugar, it can get a little messy. And then we put the drink on top. We just pour the drink right over the ice.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you take your nutmeg. There's not much. You don't need much nutmeg. If you're not a nutmeg fan, what I was doing earlier is just taking the cinnamon sugar and kind of sprinkling that on top in case you like the cinnamon instead of the nutmeg. But that's all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top, kind of coat the ice a little bit if it's floating. You kind of see what I did there. I just don't want it to spill on my computer. And then you take your cinnamon stick and you just float that right on top. It's still kind of hard to see. And that's the Cellarman's Folly spiked holiday eggnog that we had. If you guys want to, I don't know. That's it. I don't know. I got nothing else to say, but that's how I made it.
Let's do a cheers.
Cheers, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
It smells like holidays.
It does.
I usually hate eggnog, but this is delicious.
Other than a martini, this is probably the first cocktail I've ever made.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's very good.
What's that?
I love it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's
That's
great.
good.
Maisie got a huge whiff of the cinnamon sugar and she's just been sneezing on the floor.
Oh no.
Horrible!
She did it to herself.
Horrible!
Lloyd wasn't a fan of the eggnog.
It's okay. We didn't make the eggnog. It's fine.
Works well with the chai. Like this, it's really good.
Awesome.
Even Sarah liked it over here.
Great.
Yeah,
She
this
doesn't
is
like-
definitely the type that'll a non-whiskey drinker will like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't like eggnog or whiskey, and she enjoyed this drink.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Can we get that in writing?
Right. So now that everyone's sipping on it and enjoying it or not enjoying it, I would like to talk about what's in these little packages here. Our Patreon member Becky. So just a little bit of a backstory. I want to say maybe a month ago, she comes into the bar I work at, and she says, "You got to try these. I screwed something up, and I ended up making these candy bars, and there's a whole bunch of whiskey in them. And I tried them, and I was like, oh my god, they're amazing." And then I said, "Can you make this with our whiskey?" And she says, "Yeah, of course." So Becky, do you want to kind of get into how you made these and what's in them and that whole fun stuff?
I know they are.
What's that?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. So that was actually Thanksgiving Day. I think you were working and we stopped down and dropped it off, or it was the night before. It was one or the other. But yeah, I was trying to come up with a wing sauce because we got invited to a Wingsgiving, and I was trying to come up with a wing sauce that had whiskey and maple in it. So maple syrup and whiskey, and reducing it. We were watching a movie, and like every 10 minutes I go out and stir it. And then towards the end of the movie, it's like the end of the movie, we're really into this movie, and I forgot to go check on it. So it went a little too far, and it hit a candy phase. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna run down to the store and grab some nuts. That's what we did, and just poured it over. So all it is whiskey, maple syrup over nuts, coated in dark chocolate. Yep. And then I added a little salt just because I think it needed it.
That's awesome. Well, if you guys want to dive in, these are delicious, and I'm very excited to eat another one.
I want to know what the movie was.
Yeah. What was the movie?
If you're that captivated that you forget about, what's on the stove, like how can you get me to not pay attention to what I'm cooking?
It was The Matrix, right?
Titanic.
The Matrix.
The first Matrix?
Yeah, it has to be the first one. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, if you said the third one, I'd call you a liar.
The fourth one.
So, and these are made with our chai whiskey as well. So you get a little hint of the chai spices in there as well.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous is the perfect word.
Yep.
I'm an Almond Joy fan. I got a little Almond Joy buzz off of that.
That's awesome.
Like an
Alcohol, yummy.
Like an Almond Joy mixed with a Butterfinger or something.
She just tried the chocolate. She likes it.
Nice.
One time I tried to deep fry a Butterfinger. What a terrible idea. I almost chipped a tooth.
Oh my God.
So it went poorly?
Yeah, no, not a deep fryable candy bar.
So Jake, I have to ask, this was kind of your idea. What did you think of the cocktail?
Knocked it out of the park. I didn't even think to ever add Kahlua, but that adds a lot to it. I think it's really good.
Awesome.
So Jake, what did you think when you first had the idea? Like, kind of what was your expectation?
I was just thinking eggnog with a shot of whiskey in it. To be entirely honest.
Which is not that uncommon of a concept on its own. Yeah.
Usually it's rum, I think, right?
It's like spiced rum, I think, usually.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that everybody except Drew has had that at some point.
America's just gotten so extra now. All of our cocktails have to be infused with virgin goat's blood.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We saved that for January.
That's the Bahamut cocktail.
It's really hard.
Bahamut cocktail.
Yeah, supply chains and everything. It's kind of hard to get your hands on it.
That kit's gonna cost a little bit more. We're sending you a live lamb to sacrifice.
Perfect holiday gift. Yeah.
Perfect holiday gift for everybody in
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah, for everyone.
Oh god.
Right.
Put a pass on it.
So the people who don't like eggnog, like I know Molly is not a huge fan of eggnog. What did you think of this cocktail?
I mean, it just tastes sweet.
Yeah. Is it too sweet?
Never. You guys should watch the first Matrix. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh.
What about the fourth one? You know, the fourth one. That sounds good.
Yeah.
What
Uh,
kind
it's
of
coming out in 2
dodge
days,
was
Colin.
that?
Yeah.
It's coming out in 2 days.
Yeah, that's true. The fourth one's coming out soon.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And
I
so
gotta
maybe I'll tell Nick to make this drink while I watch the fourth one.
Okay.
So he's not gonna watch it with you?
Oh, I'll pause it, Colin. I'll pause it.
Okay. Just checking.
We'll watch it
Kari,
together. but it has to
hey,
be-
Kari. Kari, can I have your number?
Yeah, I don't think Nick wants. No, I'm just kidding. He's scared of me taking it.
Just text it through here.
I'm kidding.
But the drink, I love the rim of the cinnamon sugar, like with the Kahlua. Like usually it's water, right, Nick?
Yeah, usually we just kind of like dip it with either some sort of water or wetness. But yeah, I think I took a hint from, was it last time we rimmed a glass, Becky and John rimmed it a certain way, and I was like, I'm gonna steal that idea. So there's that. I think
And
you
then
used the maple syrup last time, right? Did you use the maple syrup to rim it? Is that what it was? That's fine. That was actually the class where John Ted, an old friend of Kaylee and I's, he was the special guest on that one, and he made the boozy apple, like it was like this apple that was stuffed with more apples and a boozy like drizzle on top. That was awesome.
I'm his friend too, though, Nick.
That was so much work, but it was so good. Eating that fried apple was so good. Oh god.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a baked apple, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that? Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was baked.
Kari, I know that you the last few cocktails, you don't eat a lot of fruit, and we did a lot of fruity stuff the last couple months. So how was this okay? Did you like it? Did you like the eggnog? Did you like the almond based stuff? Like what would you change if you were to change something?
I don't like the rim. I think the cinnamon sugar does make it a bit too sweet for me.
Oh, okay.
But the drink itself, I think, is very good. It tastes just like my mom's. She actually uses Kahlua, and she does use like spiced rum with it.
Yeah.
So when she makes it, I mean, pretty much every Christmas Eve since I was 16, I was allowed to have one glass. So I actually really, really enjoyed it.
That's awesome.
I mean, mine was gone pretty much immediately.
That's good. You did it as like
It
a
was
shot.
very good, and I'm glad there was no fruit in it.
Yes, I know.
Next time, Kari. Next time. You just
Yeah,
wait.
I'm gonna make sure to put a ton of fruit in the next one.
I would have probably cried if I saw a strawberry.
Yeah, we're gonna have a fruit punch cocktail just for you.
I want mango. Make a mango whiskey.
Mango
Please
whiskey.
I fucking love mango.
That would actually be really good, I feel like.
Yeah.
I
Is
love
there
it.
anyone
You know
else that,
what? Come, let's see, just based on timing, maybe February or so, we'll do the next poll.
Yeah.
And so just for everybody else's understanding, who's not in, a regular participant in the cocktail classes, as Caleb kind of alluded to, the Patreon members voted on experimental whiskeys that we're going to make, the last one being the pepper whiskeys. And so whatever gets the most votes, we will make. And we'll make a very small batch of that, maybe 3 to 5 liters or so, which yields, like a case of whiskey or so. And we let everybody try it. And so, yeah, the next one will probably happen come February, March. The pepper whiskeys will probably be done aging between March and April. So good timing there. So If you want
Super
mango,
excited.
if you want mango, vote mango.
Oh man, is
Or,
that
you
but
know,
would that be good though? Is anybody
I don't know.
like
We don't know.
anybody had a mango whiskey? I mean, I really like mango, but I don't want to screw you guys. Like we spent so much time on the worst whiskey ever, and it's your fault, Steve. Like,
Hey, you funded it, so whatever.
all right,
You
fair
know.
enough. Then I get all the shitty mango whiskey. Then if it's really bad, I just want all of it. I'll
If
pay
it's
for
really
it.
bad and everyone hates it and we make mango, you can have it.
Honestly, though, my smoked whiskey idea, I'm gonna throw my hat into that first.
So I've had scotches before that have a mango flavor, a tropical kind of flavor. And actually,
Okay.
when you say smoke, Octomore, which is the world's peatiest whiskey, once you pull back the layers of the smoke in it, it's all tropical underneath, at least the 12.1, which is the latest version of it. So it's really interesting because you are expecting this smoke bomb with a lot of like medicinal qualities because it comes from that area of Scotland, but there's no medicinal qualities. It's like a walking through a forest with a little tropical area nearby and just this smell of kind of like autumn smoke. It's really interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I might not hate that.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Well, there's going to be a voting session in a couple months.
I'm just saying he might have
Yeah.
sold me on that one.
Well, Octomore is also a rather expensive bottle.
Yeah, it's
So-
about $200 bottle of whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do it as long
Yeah.
as I had help drinking it.
Let's talk to someone who hasn't really been a part of these classes yet. Like, let's talk to Josh. What did you think of the cocktail? Would you do anything different? Would you like to see us do anything different with future cocktails? Like, how did you enjoy? First of all, are you an eggnog person? I think that should be the first question. If not,
So many questions.
yeah, too many questions. I'll stop talking. I'm sorry.
It's 21 questions.
See you guys. I'm just gonna mute myself and then walk away.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I'm not a huge eggnog fan,
All
so
right,
I
now
didn't
that
put
he's
all that
gone.
much in there. What, Steve?
Nothing. Sorry, dumb joke.
Okay. No, I like your dumb jokes, and actually, I agree with you about the mango. But actually, I'm gonna vote mango anyway.
All right.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't use a ton of the eggnog, but I don't know. It was good. I think I agree with the sugary part of the rim point.
Yeah.
So I probably would use a little less of that, but like the drink itself is really good.
Awesome. Cool. Great to hear it. What about Kaylee? What'd you think?
I think it's awesome. I'm not a huge eggnog person either, and I tend to not like sweet, but it's kind of it's a great combo because you could even, if you don't like eggnog, you could just use, it could kind of be like a White Russian situation.
Right. Yeah.
Like you can change it based on, like, if this was a drink you were making for a party, you could make it based off of what everybody else was into too, and just alter the ratios. You could even half rim the glass so it just looks fancy on just one side.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then you don't have to sip from the sugar side, you know?
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Keep that in mind for 2022, Nick.
Yeah, 2022's
Yeah.
cocktail class are going to be crazy.
Yeah, the year of the half-rimmed glass.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's a great. That's a smart thing too. Because honestly, like when the eggnog idea kind of got brought to us, we were like, what kind of eggnog do we want to use? We know we kind of go dairy free most of the time. So we, Jake actually was like, I found this almond nog that's pretty good. And then like Molly and I tried oat nog, but that was like too thin and it just tasted like milk. And I was like, well, that's just a White Russian, like that's just something else. But maybe that's a better idea. I don't know. But
Also,
I'm glad
dairy-free White Russians are the only way to go if that's your drink of choice. Now that that can exist, don't go the other way.
Right. I had some people over and some people were dairy-free or vegan, and we did we used that like a peanut butter whiskey White Russian, but with like oat milk instead. It was so good, like dangerously good to where
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, and oat milk instead of cow's milk, it just makes you feel a little better about yourself. Like you're, I don't know.
Not curdling in your stomach.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
night.
So that's a great idea. What about Julie? What did you think of the cocktail? Are you an eggnog person?
I love a sweet drink, and I love hearing everyone talk about rimming. So this is
Nice. All right. You're gonna fit in with our cocktail classes perfectly, by the way.
I literally was just thinking, I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna fit in so well.
Yeah. After a drink, the classes get a little more rowdy, you know, a little more inappropriate. But that's how it goes. Terry,
Does
what
that
did
mean you enjoyed the drink?
yeah. Right.
And she didn't outright say it, but
The mother and father of Colin Chilbert, what did you think of the drink? Are you eggnog people?
We're not, but we didn't make it. We're going to save it for Christmas Eve, probably.
Oh, that's a great idea too. Yeah, it's that time of year, you know. Corey, what did you think?
I actually super liked it. The only thing I would change is maybe adding a hint of vanilla just to bring out a little bit more of the flavor.
Oh, that's a great idea. Like a little vanilla simple syrup or something, or like a vanilla bean or something. That'd be kind of good. Yeah.
Yeah, just like a little dash though, not a lot because you don't want to overpower everything with it.
That's okay. Cool. Awesome. Drew, what did you think of the cocktail itself?
I liked it. I'm going to be on a sugar high for a couple of days, though. I don't eat sugar, so this is like, woo.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then, of course, I consumed that entire chocolate bar on top of it. So yeah, I won't be sleeping tonight. Yeah,
it's okay. We can talk about our follow-up podcast at 4 a.m.
I will still be awake. Yeah. No, it was very good, and I do like eggnog. Actually, the thicker the better. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my thing. And I haven't had eggnog yet this year, so now I have.
Yeah,
brought you into the season.
This is the week of eggnog, I believe.
Yeah.
Now let's get into our normal Patreon people. Also, I want to shout out my mother also because
Word to your mom.
Word to my mom. I also wanted to say that my mom and my father have been huge supporters of pretty much anything I do my entire life, and this is not an exception either because it's just incredible that sorry. You have been to every single cocktail class, every single one. You're the only one that's been to all of them besides me and Colin. You're the only one. I know, like Jake, you've been with us since the beginning too, but there was like 1 or 2 months that you missed because you had some health issues. But Mom, you've been to every single one. So I want to. You won.
Well, you
won the yearly award. Congrats.
Yeah. You know,
12 out of 12.
Well, you made me a whiskey drinker, so I got to attend.
Yeah.
You know, I love my wine, but I gotta say, whiskey is becoming close tie.
Yeah.
And especially with all these different kinds of way, like the eggnog. Now you know I'm not a big fan, but with the cinnamon and sugar and the Kahlua, I like it so much better because Dan usually has the eggnog on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And he just has it with whiskey and nothing else, I think, right?
He uses it with rum. He likes it with rum.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
That's probably why I don't like it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So
that's awesome. Becky and John, what did you guys think of the cocktail?
Good. I like eggnog, but eggnog is like something when you have like 182.
Yeah.
Of this, I can actually see myself drinking a couple of times throughout the night.
Yeah.
This is very good.
Great.
Oh, I'm not an eggnog drinker. I don't like it. It's too thick or whatever. But with this one, I drank John's leftover nog and I put it in my cup because I liked it creamier.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sarah's on the phone, so that's fine. Steve, what'd you think of the drink?
You knew.
So Eggnog, not that I'm not into it. It's just that it's not something that, like, I don't know, I've ever been around a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
So going into it, I didn't like, that wasn't my worry. I did not do the sugar, cinnamon sugar rim because from previous classes and previous life experiences, I found that if I mix sugar and whiskey, I get violently ill.
Oh,
So
interesting.
it's a quick way to a bad morning. So
Yeah.
So the almond milk, I put the nutmeg in, I stirred it. The Kahlua, everything really nice, really smooth. Very. I actually so I used like, I don't know, most of the whiskey, but not all of it. And then I added more Kahlua. So, and I used the cinnamon stick to stir it, and it was very, very enjoyable. Very, I had a piece of ice in there. I feel like the ice cut it down a little bit, made it a little bit thinner. So I'm not used to like thick drinks that much. So no, that was very good. It might not be something that I get a lot, but it was enjoyable to make and have tonight.
Nice. That's great. Well, that's awesome. I also want to hear from Colin because I know Colin is not a eggnog person. What did you think of this?
There's definitely a running theme with people who don't like eggnog here.
Yeah.
And who also said, "Oh, well, I actually enjoyed the drink." I am also in that camp.
Yeah.
And I am also in the camp who thought that the rim might have been a little too sweet.
Mm.
So also just so everybody else is aware as well, when we make our cocktails, whether it's Nick making one or the rare occasion where Caleb and I will make one, we don't share it with each other. So everybody gets to try it for the very first time in the class and have a fresh perspective on things. So, like Caleb and I had not actually tried this cocktail before today. What I ended up doing with the drink, like the drink itself was really, really good. I ended up just kind of like removing a little bit of the rim. So I didn't have that level of sweetness in it. And once I kind of took the rim off of it a little bit, the rest of the drink was super good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I also, just because this is kind of, how I do it, I used 100% of the whiskey and half of the eggnog. So I used very different proportions compared to at least what you recommended.
Yeah, that's the beauty of these classes. Like we give you more than enough ingredients to do kind of whatever you want with it. And Caleb, what did you do? Because first of all, I know you're an eggnog person, but you're also vegan. So you're a vegan eggnog person, which is a different than a normal eggnog. But also I know that you don't like coffee at all. So did you put any Kahlua in yours or what did you do?
Yeah, I actually Sarah made it over here for me. She was sitting next to me. She did exactly what you said to do. So it's the exact way you said to make it was how I had it. I did enjoy it. I had never really had eggnog before I was vegan. So I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, I guess you would say. But ever since they had, like silk, soy nog or whatever, I just been drinking it and I've always loved it. And yeah, I guess it's thinner or whatever, but I really liked the one, whatever you got. What'd you get from Aldi or something?
Yeah, it was just the almond nog.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I used the whole, I did the same thing as you said, used the whole thing, half a shot of the Kahlua and an ounce and a half of the
whiskey.
The whiskey. And it was great. I thought it was good. I almost would have rather not had as much ice in there. I didn't want it to water it down as much as it did.
Yeah.
I like the initial flavor I got, and I loved the rim around the top as well. It's a holiday season. It's Christmas. I think of sweet stuff, at this time anyway. So I wanted a sweet drink tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what I got. And I loved it.
Awesome. Sarah, what did you think of the drink?
It was good. I think I put too much nutmeg. I was trying to like sprinkle a little bit, so I like tapped it and it like fell in. I was like, oh shit. So it was a little bit bitter for me, but that's not any fault of your recipe. It was good. I think those are like a one and done for me. Like I wouldn't be able to have two or like try to like get buzzed off of those because it would be, my stomach would hurt. But like one dessert and done, or paired with that little candy bar thing, that's really good. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Nick,
Yeah.
I forgot to say, I didn't use the nutmeg at all. We put more cinnamon sugar, sprinkled that on the top instead.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but maybe I'll try it again. I have more, almond nog or whatever, oat nog or something in the refrigerator. Actually, I got that extra thing that you gave me. So I'll use that, and I'll try it with a nutmeg next time.
Awesome. Well, sounds great. Well, I'm glad most of you, it seems like everyone enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I just want to give a huge shout out again to everybody. I know I would just shout people out, but honestly, everybody, thank you guys so much for being a part of our little community that we have here. It's cool. This is a very special one for me because I get to see everyone that has subscribed to her. There's some people that weren't able to make it. I know a huge shout out to Zach, who sometimes is a part of our cocktail classes. He's in an upper tier, so he's usually here. And I know Mark Turley, he's a subscriber. He doesn't drink. He's just a nice guy that wants to help us out. So he subscribes, and he
a nice guy.
He is, come on. We were hoping that he would bring his wife on and have one, but I guess she's working late tonight. So thank you to all just everyone, man. We really appreciate it. I know Holly Lacombe is part of our cocktail classes as well. She couldn't make it tonight, but huge shout out to her, and just thank you guys so much. It was awesome to see. I haven't seen Kaylee in forever. I haven't seen Drew since we interviewed you that one time. Josh, I love you, man. I'm so happy that you were able to join. Corey, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while either. And I don't know. I remember the last time I saw Terry was at Sharky's one night when the band was playing. So, so thank you guys so much for just being a part of this. It really means a lot. And we usually go about an hour. It's been about that. So if anyone has anything else to add, if anyone has any questions about anything, feel free to ask it.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. You guys did awesome getting us all put together.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much. Also, just huge shout out to everyone that's doing stuff. I know Drew has his podcast. It's called Whiskey Lore. It's like folklore about whiskey related things. It's so awesome. Check it out. You're on Spotify and Apple Music and all that stuff, right? Yeah, check it out. It's awesome. Check out Kaylee as well. She's about to release a new record, and the 2 songs she's released are so good. Check her out too. And just everyone that's doing stuff right now. It's just awesome. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I gotta stop talking. I'll learn when to stop talking.
On that note, then I can pick up the mic and just reiterate what Nick said. Thank you guys very much for all your continued support as we've gone through the first full year of our Patreon journey. Again, this was drink number 12, and we hope you guys enjoy 12 more next year.
Yeah, it really helps us out. So thank you all so much for everything that you do for us.
Yeah. And also, I don't even know if Colin and Caleb know this, but I've been talking with a very special guest for next month. And I think we're going to do a Manhattan next month. And those are very delicious. And the special guest might be Kaylee's sister, Kalina, who makes her own bitters. So that's perfect.
But I was going to be the guest, and I was like, oh my God, what a surprise. I love Manhattan.
It's kind of like you know.
I'll kind of
the
be
guest
there.
the guest might look like you a little bit.
Yeah, it won't be me, but it'll look like me.
Yeah. So look forward to that. We're excited. We haven't done a Manhattan yet. So that's going to be next month. And we're very excited about it. So if you're in the tiers, we'll see you next month. If you're not in those tiers and want to join, up the tier if you're interested. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for everything. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Guys.
Everyone.
There it is.